Hi and welcome to Antique Quest. We're just going to update you on the Airstream, what we've been doing and where we're at. As you can see, we bought a new toilet. We replaced the old Thetford with this. This is the Thetford AQUA 5. Bought it off Amazon. We'll leave you the link down below if I remember. And there's just a couple things I want to tell you about the old one because I made a video and I had it on for about 10 minutes and I took it off. It was so boring I couldn't even watch it. So we're just going to run over a few of the tips to taking your old Thetford out. Your old Thetford has two bolts that hold it down. One is underneath the pedal and one is way back there in the far corner. Now the old Thetfords will have a plug right here that you can pop out with a screwdriver, and that is supposed to line up with the back bolt. Mine wasn't even close. Couldn't even see it through that hole. So in the end, you can feel back there, find the bolt, get a wrench on it. You're going to get about 1/8 of a turn and it's going to frustrate you to death. It's going to take forever to get that bolt off, and you do a lot of hugging of the toilet, but eventually it's going to come off. Your other one in the front here, depress the foot pedal, stick a pop bottle down in the neck of your toilet, which will keep it down and out of your way then, because then your trap can't close and the pedal will stay down. And you can at least see this one and you can get at it. So once you finally get those off, and you've learned all sorts of new vocabulary that you didn't want to say out loud, so don't have the kids around, you're going to pull the toilet off, unhook the water lines, and you're going to have a black flange. Now mine was destroyed. It was bent and twisted. And for the new Thetford, they have the bolts on the sides, one there and one there, just behind that curve. So you want the flange with its bolts on the side rather than where they are on the original Thetford. So I ordered a flange. Now they are thread. They're thread right into the tank that's below. So make sure you get the threaded version. And the best thing to do is you got to take the screws out that are holding it down. Get yourself a piece of wood and drive a screw through the wood and into the thick part of your lower tank flange. And then you can break the seal and unscrew it rather easily. So, and then we'll leave a link for that one because it was a little tricky to find that one at first. Sorry, I'm sweating. It's 30+ degrees and I had to turn the air conditioner off or you wouldn't hear me. So it's basically like a tin can, sitting in a tin can. Not too bad, but I'm starting to sweat. So anyway, once you get that flange off, you get your other one. You're going to have to push down on this to get the threads to start on the new one. And just put the bolts through the holes and then put a wooden piece of wood, something like that, so you can turn it up against the bolts. So you just put it right through the two bolts like so and use it to screw it in. And once you get it in place, your bolts on the side, then you screw it down and you put your new toilet in. This one is a lot less frustrating. The old bolts, you can't even move the wrench hardly at all. So these ones you can get a little better swing. And we got the hand flush model. So you got the flush back here and the sprayer, so you can, it's great for cleaning, anything like that, or even if you just need some water, you know, you can pop that out and fill something up. So we preferred that over the foot pedal because sometimes you'll step on the foot pedal. If your foot slips off, it throws water up in your face. So anyway, we got a brand new toilet, so hopefully I saved you hours of boring video there. And now we're going to show you us putting in the new floor that we got. And we've already built quite a bit of cabinetry, so hopefully this will catch us up and then we can get going and show you where we're really at. So thanks for watching, everybody, and now we'll show you the floor.
Hi folks, and welcome back to Antique Quest. Today we're putting a floor in the Airstream. We just finished installing a brand new toilet in the back, which hopefully we had a little video out of that, or it might be even in this same video. We're just trying to cancel out all those things. Now, as you can see, I already started. I'm about halfway done. I didn't want to bore you with it just going on and on and on. Somebody showing you flooring going in and out. But I do want to show you what we bought. And, oh, I should have picked an empty box for this. But this is espresso. And we got it from Home Hardware. And the reason I like this, now mind you, this is a lighter color. I had to order it in the middle of the COVID and ordered it online. I thought it was going to be a little grayer than that, so I wasn't really looking for something so white, but it's here, it'll turn out all right. Now, the reason I like this one is, as you can see, hopefully you can see that, it's a fairly thick plastic base. So it's a lot more rigid than a lot of your laminate flooring. So it's got a little structural integrity to it, which is great for an Airstream trailer where your floors might not be absolutely perfectly flat. If you're doing in a house, you know, this stuff lays down about as easy as you can get. All you really need is a rubber mallet and you're off to the races. It just clicks in. It's got a little, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little notch there, and then it's just flat. You just kind of lay it on and hammer it right in, and it goes down real easy, and I'll show you some of that in a minute. But the good thing is it's totally waterproof. You could absolutely saturate this with water and nothing's going to happen to it because it's all plastic. This is just a little material that they have over this sort of egg carton plastic framework. So there's absolutely nothing to swell. So if it gets soaked in here, if somebody comes in with wet feet, if you get a leak in your trailer, this flooring is not going to swell and expand and jam up doors and you have to rip it all off again. You could actually hose it down. Not that that's going to be any good for your underlay, but your floor is not going to get ruined. So as long as you cut it fairly carefully, you'll be all right. When you're coming down with a chop saw, you come down on this side of it. Okay, so if you cut it this way, it's going to chip a little bit of the edges, but if you cut it this way, it cuts nice and flat. Table saw, you want to flip it over and run it through your table saw, so the good side down. And then jigsaw is going to kind of mess it up, but you do have to cut around little notches and things like that. Now, something else I'm going to show you, which I got for doing the curves, because I don't really enjoy doing a lot of measuring and trying to figure out curves. So I got this off Amazon, and what it is it's for seamstress and people like that, and it's a measuring ruler, but it's bendable and then it holds its form. So what I did was, when I got into the corners up there, I actually just pressed this against the wall to get the shape of it, the shape of the curve, and then I did my measuring of where it had to start and holding it carefully because it will flex fairly easily. You can just draw a line, you can cut it with your jigsaw, and you're going to get pretty close. And I think this was, I don't know, 11 or 12 bucks. It wasn't a great deal. The only problem is the very ends don't have anything in them where they bend and stay. So don't count the ends, use the middle I found, but you can get a nice curve and then you can use it as a template to draw on. So not a bad little thing. Now you're supposed to leave a 1/4 inch with these, although I'm pretty sure this doesn't expand like a lot of your other flooring. And honestly, I left some bigger spaces in some places. That end piece there, you know, I had one that was already cut that was just about a perfect fit, but it doesn't follow the curve. It's not a big deal. It's all going to be underneath cabinets, and I'm going to actually put some flexible silicone around the outside, just keep bugs, everything else. I want it as tight as I can get it for that, but not so tight that it's going to flex and pop up. So anyway, that's just a brief idea so you know what we're doing here. We're half done now, should be finished today, and I'm just going to show you a couple other areas. Okay, so cutting out around here was a right royal pain in the butt, because all of that is going to be under kitchen cabinets anyway. So you don't even really have to do that. If you still have your cabinets in, they're going to come out to about here, and you can just floor to your cabinet and then you put a trim piece over the gap. I kind of wanted this underneath the flooring, or underneath the cabinetry too, so we had a nice clean surface under there. And it was probably only another box, and I already had everything ripped out anyway. So over here, this is all going to have some trim wood put on, so most of that's going to get covered. But the tub has a bit of a curve to it, so you want to try and line this all up so your floor is running straight. So when you get to these oddball old trailer things, you're going to find some are sloped a little bit this way and that way. I might piece some of that in, but Again, that's going to be mostly covered anyway. And of course I'm going to have trim back there, but I am going to redo the whole bathroom later anyway. So that just gives you an idea, and I'm going to cut a piece now, because what I've also done is I've laid out these boards here so I get a pretty good idea how big a board I have to cut here, because this last one I put down was a full-size board. Let me get that cord out of your way. This last one I put down was a full-size board, so your next one you want to like a line somewhere around here. So I laid these all out all the way, laid them all out all the way along to give me a rough idea. Now, when you get to this last one, because this is where your next board's going to go. Oh, this camera's too close. This is where your next board would go. So you want to make sure you cut it the right way. So you have to have that lip out. So you pretty much always have to start at this end and work your way that way, because you want this lip on the outside so you can snap your next one down into it by going down straight instead of lifting up your floor. So when you do this end, you have to flip it over like this to decide where you're going to cut it, because that is going to flip over and be your first piece, because you need that edge at that end. Okay, so make sure that edge is where we want it, and we're just going to line it up with a bit of a gap. You just hold it over top and that's it. It's in. Now the next one I do is not quite going to fit, because I don't know if you can see, I just have to cut a little notch here, which isn't a big deal at all. It's almost just the black needs to be cut out. Okay, so we've just cut a little notch here. Can you even see that? I hope so. And we're going to line it up. Now, you want to get it as close as you can at the end here. And I find if I start in the corner, I work my way over, and I get that line straight before you go along this lengthways. Now the other thing was, if you do end up with this sticking out too far, you want to really make sure you get those two edges flush, because otherwise you'll end up with a huge problem at the other end. You can take these apart. You got to be very careful. If you bend this up, it's going to snap one of those plastic thin pieces. I've had to replace one piece doing that. So if you can get underneath and bang it back up, they do come apart and you can reset it. And then you just work your way along the line. And that's it. It's laid. Now my next ones will fill in there. Piece of cake. I mean, this is about as easy as it gets. Now as you do hammer, sometimes some of your other ones will stick up a bit. You know, because this floor is not, like I say, it's not dead flat like in a house. So it's trying to follow some curves. Once it's all together, it's going to strengthen all of them. So you can just go along later with a rubber mallet. See, when I go like that, see there's a crack there now. So then I hammer that one back down. So, you know, you can live with it for a while and see which parts are sticking up and give it another tap. So you take one of these old Airstreams that are all brown inside, paint it white and get yourself a nice light flooring, and man, it really does brighten things up. But we're just going to continue along and finish this floor, and I'll show you what it's like when we're done. Thanks. Alright, well, it's pouring rain now, and we came up just a little bit short. So, do I really want to go and get a whole other box of this? I'm thinking no. The only place that it bothers me is right in here, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be building cabinets out to here and probably out to here, so all of this will be under a cabinet. So I might just put a panel in there to screw down to, and I can piece in this particular piece right there, even though it doesn't have the connection on the right side. And same under here, but this is all going to be under cabinet too. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. So all in all, 4 boxes, 23-foot Airstream. There you go. And let's see. Anybody wants to get the same stuff with the plastic? There you go, right there. Now there's a few spots that keep popping up, especially right here in the front where this floor slopes down and goes a little soft there. It's just something with this particular model. So anyway, that's it, folks. Moving right along with the Airstream. Now the fun part, we get to build cabinets. Okay. Well, it's pouring rain here now, so I got to make a run for the house. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again. If you have anything you want to know about Airstreams and you think I might be able to answer them, I'll try my best. But certainly not an expert, just an average Joe wanting to use his trailer. Thanks for watching, folks. God bless.